Hello, happy Christmas, everybody. My name's Grace Johnson, and I'm from the Hedgehog Street campaign. Hedgehog Street is, of course, a joint project between the British Hedgehog Preservation Society, which I'm sure you all know very well, and People's Trust for Endangered Species. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it to Hogmas this evening. It sounds like it's going to be a really good event. I hope everybody's having a really good evening. But yeah, Joe asked me to record a little Christmassy message, so I'm very happy to be joining you to say Happy Christmas. I don't have a hedgehog jumper. I'm really sorry, but I've got a little mascot with me this evening. I've got a little special little hedgehog that I've brought along. um, so I wanted to start by saying a really big well done to all of the fantastic hedgehog friendly campus teams that are here this evening. You've done really brilliant work over the year. Um, you've been working to improve habitat for hedgehogs, and just as importantly, you've been raising awareness of hedgehogs and how people can help, which is so important. And of course, a really big well done to Joe and Bethany for another successful year of the Hedgehog Friendly Campus project. So well done, everybody. It's been a busy year on the Hedgehog Street front. So back in February, we released the State of Britain's Hedgehogs report. That's something that we produce every 3 or 4 years. And it's just looking at how populations in the UK, well, in Britain, are changing, how things are looking across urban and rural areas. So if anybody hasn't had a look at that, you can head over to hedgehogstreet.org and have a little catch up. So that was back in February. We've also run a competition this summer to find Britain's biggest hedgehog street, which has kept us very busy. And we crowned a street in Nottinghamshire at the end of the summer. They had installed 42 hedgehog highways, I believe, and they'd been seeing lots of hedgehogs as a result, which is obviously fantastic. So yeah, really well done to them. And that brings us to winter. It is, of course, winter at the moment. We're approaching Christmas. It is, of course, the hibernation season. What's quite interesting is that hedgehogs are a true hibernator. So there's not a lot of species in the UK that are true hibernators. We've got hedgehogs, of course, hazel dormice, and our native bat species as well. Hibernation is really cool. I always find it a really interesting sort of biological process. It's basically animals hitting the pause button, so they drop all of their metabolic processes right down. So they only breathe a few times a minute. Their heartbeat drops down to a few beats per minute, and it really just allows them to hit the snooze button. Just pause things while the weather's rubbish. There's not enough insect prey for them. Just pause things. Tuck themselves up in a nice hibernation nest, which is also known as a hibernaculum. And yeah, hit the pause button until conditions improve in the spring and there's more insect prey for them. So that's what they're doing now. So we wouldn't expect to see too many of them out and about. But there are still ways that we can help them at this time of year, of course. So one of the best ways to help is to try and avoid any disturbance in the garden or any areas, scrubby areas that you think might be a hedgehog nest. They do rouse periodically during winter, but if they rouse unexpectedly in response to disturbance, it can be quite dangerous. It can use up their precious energy resources that they've spent so long in the autumn building. So just being really careful to avoid any disturbance at this time of year is so important. Other ways to help, we can leave out small amounts of food, something like dry cat or dog biscuits, because they're not going to go off as quickly. You could leave a small amount out in the garden or dotted around campus. And that just means that if they do rouse, then they've got some food. They're not having to sort of travel too far looking for food. They've got a nice ready source there. You can put a few biscuits out, pet cat or dog biscuits, not actual biscuits. And then, yeah, if they start to be taken, you could put a little bit more down, or if there's a particularly mild period of weather, that's a time when they might be rousing from hibernation. So you can put a little bit more food down there. And also at this time of year, and certainly what I'm doing at the moment is planning for next year. It's a little bit quieter at the moment. There's less inquiries, less hedgehogs to go out and survey and monitor. So now's a really good time to get planning. So all of those fantastic hedgehog-friendly campus activities for next year. So yeah, thank you very much for having me this evening. It's been lovely to join you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Hogmas event. And yeah, wishing everybody a very happy Christmas. Have a lovely festive period, happy and healthy, and have a fantastic new year. Thanks so much.